This is a remarkable story. I'm sure you remember it made headlines around the world. In a book published last year, Bradford mother Marina Chapman made extraordinary claims that she was raised by monkeys as a child. Now, Marina was born in Colombia. She says that she was kidnapped at a young age and abandoned in the jungle, where for 5 years, monkeys helped her survive. Well, Marina's story not only generated interest, but a certain amount of scepticism. However, a new documentary this week is putting her claims to the test.
She often caught animals with her bare hands. She caught a rabbit and birds, so her reflexes are incredible. And she's just generally quite animal-like.
She says she lived on a diet of only fruit and nuts for 5 years. If that's true, malnourishment would have stunted her growth.
That indicates that perhaps she has had periods of malnutrition during her growth.
Marina's response to the capuchins is very strong. By one measure, almost as intense as to images of her family.
Isn't it amazing? Well, Marina actually, as we saw there, travelled back to Colombia for the documentary. She's back. She's here now with her daughter Vanessa, who we also saw in the clip. What an incredible story this is. It is absolutely remarkable. They've put you to the test. You're absolutely convinced that this happened. What was it like to be subjected to all of those tests?
It has to be done.
Yeah.
It's no other way. So it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. You got there in the end. And of course,
so.
Vanessa, you think your mum's story had to be told. You know, you're very passionate about making sure that the world knows what she went through.
Yeah, and she's really never been interested in telling her story, which is why it's been kept for so long. But and she still isn't. She's more interested in cooking and eating.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a great story, and it had to be told.
No, very much so. I mean, there's a lot of people that would be sceptical. You can understand, because it sounds like something from Tarzan or something from, you know, like a movie. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's real life. But what would you say to people who would say that can't possibly have happened?
It's because in this country, everything is safe. Other countries don't have that.
Yeah.
And that's the way of life. It's completely different life in other countries. People have no idea what's behind the scenes in other countries.
That's actually that's very true. You're absolutely right. You really
There
are.
are lots of horrible things in other countries people don't realise.
And you had a real tough childhood. You know, it was very, very difficult for you, wasn't it?
It was difficult. The thing is about it, you become resilient and tougher. How to, you know, tell my daughters to get up.
Tough. Very good example for all of you, I would have thought.
Yeah.
She's good, but she's seen so many stories growing up as well that she doesn't think hers is anything particularly special. Which she's just like, what? You know, I've seen survival stories from the other kids on the street, so
yeah.
To her,
I spent some time with the street children. Believe me, they have something, really.
They have amazing stories to tell, as have you. Like I said, you were subjected to all of these tests, and I would say that you passed most of them with flying colours.
So.
Yeah, you did. I mean, it's you know what happened to you, but the rest of the world are kind of like they can't really believe. And it was so interesting about the fact that you managed to pick out the particular monkeys. That there was obviously a time when at that time that you were you suffered malnutrition.
Because monkeys are like children. You relate to them like children. They're incredible.
Do you still feel an affinity? Like you saw it was interesting when I saw in that part of the documentary your face when you went back. I mean, your face just lit up.
It's the reason why she did this
documentary. It's like a family. Yeah. You can't. It was like meeting a relative that you haven't seen for years. I have no idea why I felt so much for the monkeys more than meeting my real family. I never found my real family, but it's difficult to explain why I feel that.
Well, it's going right back to your childhood,
to see those animals.
Yeah, of course. How did you feel going back there with your mum? What was that like? It must have been very emotional for both of you.
Yeah, it was. We knew it was going to be maybe a tough trip, but Mum was more excited about seeing the monkeys. It was the reason that she wanted to do this documentary. Sure. She wasn't bothered about the tests or anything else or the cameras. She was like, if I get to go with the monkeys in the jungle, I'm there. So.
Yeah, and do you feel somehow that you've kind of acknowledged your past. You've been there. You've met them. It's something.
I used to feel embarrassed about my past. I was concerned my daughters being in sixth form and say I get bullied, or my grandchildren get bullied. You do worry because children can be cruel, and so monkeys can be,
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
No, I can understand that. I mean, did you ever feel that when you were growing up? When people ever say, your mum says that she was brought up by monkeys, what's going on? Did you get any of that at all?
I don't remember actually telling people because it was so ordinary to us. So it's like
you knew because you'd grown up with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like someone saying, my mum works at Morrison's. They wouldn't usually mention it. My mum was raised by monkeys. It's only recently, really, that with putting the story out, that we thought, this is actually quite extraordinary. This isn't so normal. But because when we get to see how she is and climbing trees as kids, then it's kind of
I was worried that my grandchildren might get bullied at school. Some
I
kids,
know you're worried about them getting bullied, but they're not. They should be really proud of their gran.
So
And I bet they are proud of you. I bet they
I'm
are.
afraid my grandson, Austin,
Yeah.
he is. He said, my teacher wants to see you. And she's been reading a book in the school.
Yeah.
So
But that's brilliant. That's fantastic. You can talk to the kids.
I saw he's not embarrassed about me.
Well, why should he be embarrassed about you?
It was
Listen, the documentary's on Friday, Channel 5, 8 o'clock on Friday. There's also perhaps there's going to be a movie.
Yes.
Which would be great. That would be amazing.
A movie?
I wonder who could play you. Let me think. Who could play you? Who would be good to play you? Sally Field.
Sally Field. I always
Sally
thought
Field. Because you've got the look of Sally Field. See, we both think that. We both think that.
There we go. Sally. She's
Come back and tell us. Bring Sally as well. And great to see you.